Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and I am, of course, General Lotz, and here we are in May of 2019. This year has definitely been going on at a rapid rate, and it has been one of the best years in, well, many, many years, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of those things you gotta keep in mind. You know, life may get you down, life may be going bad for a little while, but you know what? There's always a light at the end of that tunnel, and there's always an end to that swamp of despair. Now, as of May, we are going to be taking a look at Star Wars Bounty Hunter. It's taken me a little while to get that video put together. There's a lot of work I have to do in terms of, well, regular work and life and things of that nature, but it will be done in just a few days before the end of the month. Hey, so long as it's before the end of the month, it still means I've been getting one review out per month. And hey, you got some re-uploads. I did 3 re-uploads this month because I wanted to edit them for content. There were a few things in them that I didn't particularly like, and so I was able to fix them, and, well, everybody was happy to see those reviews back up. And thanks to that horrible AI algorithm that Google uses, some of my more new fans hadn't even seen them. The re-uploads were, of course, Dark Souls 1, 2, and Wolfenstein New Order. Wolfenstein New Order, I had to edit out the final, 5 minutes of it, because I really don't agree with it. When that game came out, I was completely enamored by it because oh my god, it's a real game! Ah! And so it's it's the best first-person shooter ever. Wolfenstein New Order is a really good FPS for a modern game. It's not by far even remotely the best first-person shooter ever. So I had to edit that out. Dark Souls 2 had an annoying intro that I had to edit out. What's kind of funny is I had to lay down some modern audio for that. So it's let's take a trip back to 2014 or 15 or whenever that review got done. What's kind of funny, though, is Dark Souls 2, you can't really get the version that I reviewed anymore. I think you can get the console versions of that, but the PC version you can only get Scholar of the First Sin. I could be wrong about that. I liked Dark Souls 2 well enough, but not enough to get any of the DLC, because I really couldn't care less. The other re-upload was Dark Souls 1, which I'm really quite proud of that review. I had to lay down some new audio tracks to basically get it up to modern standards. I removed a couple of video segments as well, also to get it up to modern standards. But honestly, that review still holds up really well. I really like that review because there's so much gameplay footage that I recorded for that. I recorded, I think, at least 15 hours of gameplay footage for that. So, you see multiple different builds, you see multiple different areas of the game with multiple different types of characters. I really enjoyed working on Dark Souls 1. That was one of my favorite reviews I ever did, actually. Dark Souls 1, that review, you can't even get Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition anymore. You can only get Dark Souls Remastered, which in and of itself is an improvement on Dark Souls Prepare to Die, but I still kind of have a soft spot for the old Prepare to Die Edition. Let's see what else we got. This month we also took a look at Star Wars The Phantom Menace. That is definitely a movie that had a little bit of good in it, but most of it was bad. In fact, 99% of it was bad. That 1% good was anytime, Anakin and Qui-Gon got to interact with one another, but most of it was really, really, really terrible. This month, I've already recorded the audio for next month's review of Attack of the Clones. That review actually surprised me a little bit. I didn't realize just how not horrible Attack of the Clones was. There's a lot of good in that. Anytime Obi-Wan is on screen, it's great. The battle with all the Jedi versus the droids, excellent. Christopher Lee turns in a great performance. It's really the Anakin and Padme stuff that just really dragged that entire movie down. So I'm actually going to be giving not a thumbs up, but like a that up for that movie. It's that's about as much as I can go, but that's more than I did for Phantom Menace. Let's see. So next month we're going to be taking a look at Rogue Squadron 2. Rogue Squadron 2 is practically finished already. I've got all the gameplay footage for it, so most of the work is already done. I just got to write the script, record the audio and video, and all the rest. There's actually going to be a little cameo in that as well, but you'll just have to wait and see. I've considered trying to do 2 reviews per month, but I just am not going to have the time for that. I thought I might, but I'm just not. It kind of sucks, but at least I'm still have a fairly regular schedule still. I'm continuing with the live streams as of this coming week, ladies and gentlemen. I should finish Doom 3. What's kind of funny, it's in the previous Doom 3 live stream, I couldn't find a Switch that was literally right in front of my face. I was like wandering around like, where the goddamn is... Where the goddamn? That's a new thing, ladies and gentlemen. Where the hell is that bloody Switch? As soon as I stopped the stream, found it almost in 5 seconds. Because of course I did. I also picked up something, it's not in yet, but I picked up a wireless adapter for the Xbox 360 controller. What's funny is I've got 3 separate PC controllers, but I gotta say, I really like the joystick layout of the 360 controller. I don't have an Xbone controller, nor did I really want to buy one. So, what's kind of annoying though, is the wireless adapter for the Xbox 360 controller is actually no longer produced. I had to pick it up off of eBay. $18. Not bad, but you think these things would still be made, or that this could use just like a generic dongle. That being said, though, I really prefer the Xbox controller in many respects to the PS2 controller, which is actually the opposite of how it was just like a year ago. It's just after I started playing Doom 3, I started to realize why I like the Xbox 360 controller to begin with. Let's see, what else we got. After I finish the Doom 3 live stream, I'm going to move on to Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil, and I should finish that in time for Wolfenstein Youngblood, and I'm going to live stream that with Raynick. Since it's co-op, I'm just going to buy the Super Ultimate Edition, so he doesn't have to buy it, because who knows if that game's going to be any good. I hope it's not an SJW fest, but knowing modern-day AAA games, it's really a toss-up as to whether or not it's going to be good or not. I'm hoping, at the very least, it's fun. We'll have to see. I don't think I will be able to review that until 2020. I have it on the list for 2020, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it until then. Speaking of modern-day games, Rage 2, ladies and gentlemen. I decided to go ahead and pick it up. I did not buy any of the Ultimate or Mega editions. I just got the basic version of it. And, I'm not going to say it's worth $60, but I'm going to not say it's worth $60. It was worth $60 to me because there is enough gameplay to really warrant the high price tag. But it's really obvious that it's such a ripoff that there was very little creativity used in it. And if I offend anyone who worked on the game who watches the channel, I'm sorry, but it's really obvious that it's been ripped off from so many different things. The plot, Rage in and of itself, is a ripoff of the Fallout series. It just is. Instead of a nuclear war, it's an asteroid. And with Rage 2, it's a ripoff of Fallout 2. Instead of the Enclave, you have the Authority, and they want to do more or less the same thing the Enclave did. So it's pretty obvious, what it's ripping off. Also, it is this close to being a copyright infringement of Borderlands. Borderlands series, not Borderlands 2, but in Borderlands, you have the little swoop thing, and you zoom in on like a boss, and it's like, kill Skag, he doesn't like you, or something like that. What happens in Rage 2? It swoops into Mech Dude, and he hates you. It does the exact same thing. The main character of the game can be chosen at the beginning of the game. You can either pick a dude or chick. I went ahead and picked the dude, and the dude's name is Walker, but he's not a Texas Ranger. But he is a Ranger, though. And he's kind of endearing. Basically, when it comes to games today, the major male characters are usually doofuses that are, really eager to, do things, like kill crap. It just kind of annoys me in some instances, but doesn't at the same time. I think if he was, some sort of grizzled leader, he might be kind of annoying, kind of boring. And the Walker voice actor does pretty well. The game is very earnest in what it is. It feels like it's happy to be a video game. It's not so super duper serial that it's annoying, and it's better put together than the Borderlands series. Borderlands isn't very well written, and Rage isn't well written either, but it feels a little more concrete than Borderlands did. The gameplay is really fun, if a bit easy. You really should play it on hard to actually get a challenge. But overall, it's a really good game. I don't know if I would recommend paying $60 for it. Honestly, if you're kind of on the fence about it, I would wait until the next Steam sale, but I don't regret buying it. Let me put it that way. I don't regret paying the $60 for it. Also, I picked up a copy of Resident Evil 2, the remake. I have not actually been able to play it for more than 5 minutes. For the 5 minutes that I have played, it's not bad. I really do like that it's a reimagining of Resident Evil 2 versus just being a one-to-one remake, because it actually kind of works with the new gameplay style and everything. I'm hoping it's good. We will just have to see. Let's see what else we got. 2020 is something I do want to talk about. This year I'm busy working at my regular job. I'm busy doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. There's a lot of really cool behind the scenes stuff that doesn't really come through in any of the live streams or anything like that. But there's a lot of cool stuff happening behind the scenes that's really going to make 2020 one of the best years ever. 2019, we're building up to 2020. It started out a Star Wars year, but a lot of stuff has changed just over the past 5 months. So 2020 is going to be even better than this year. Star Wars year is still pretty good, don't get me wrong. I love doing these Star Wars games. But 2020, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be... It's not the best year ever, because that implies that there's only way to go but down. But it's going to be an even better year than this one. It's going to be one of the best years in a very long time. There's just so much cool stuff that's going to be happening in 2020. We're finally going to take a look at Alien Isolation. That's for October of 2020. Yeah, it's kind of late, but it's going to be good. If I had reviewed it at any time earlier, it wouldn't be as good. We're going to be taking a look at Fear, finally. If I'd reviewed it any time earlier, it wouldn't be as good. We're going to be taking a look at Turok 3. We're going to be looking at Rage 1 and 2. If I have to wait till 2020, Wolfenstein Youngblood. We're going to be looking at Wolfenstein Old Blood, finally. Wolfenstein 2009 is one of the last reviews for 2020, but I got a lot of really funny stuff planned for that. I won't be able to do it until then, but believe me, it's going to be great. Another thing we're going to be taking a look at is BattleTech, ladies and gentlemen. BattleTech. This is something I only recently got into. I read the first book called Decision at Thunder Rift. It's pretty good. This is a 1980s vintage series. Kind of like Warhammer 40k, but I think it predates 40k by a couple of years. Damn, ladies and gentlemen. It is criminally unsung. It is so overlooked it's not even funny. I've never actually played any tabletop war games before. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. This is supposed to be a lot easier to get into than 40k. Basically, BattleTech is most well known under its MechWarrior guys. Basically, it's where battle mechs, such as this, beat the crap out of each other. Most of you will probably have heard of MechWarrior. That is a series of computer simulation games that I have not actually played. I think I played one on the SNES many, many years ago, and I remember nothing about it. I did play, and some of you who look at the convention circuit and go to those, you'll probably see like battle pods. It's where they've got, I think they're running a version of MechWarrior 3, and like you get into these pods, and it's like a really cool cockpit kind of thing. I have played on one of those. When I went to Space City Con 2013, I played in one of those. It was a lot of fun. I died like in the first 5 minutes, but you know what? I loved it. What we have here is the BattleTech Beginner's Box. This is a lot better than the 40k, like intro to 40k box. This was $20 off of Amazon. And what's kind of cool is Amazon has taken over the world. Why? Because this shipped in literally 2 days. This is something that's going to be for 2020. I intend to review this. I also intend to play, 1 or 2 games on a live stream as well. But this is one of those things. This is one of those future 2020 things that, 2019, it's all building up to stuff like this. When it comes to the channel, though, I am not going to be ending the channel anytime soon. I get that I'm not, super popular. I don't know how people get better exposure than me. I don't know, but all of you have been really, very supportive throughout the last decade. And as long as everyone wants to watch, I'm willing to make the videos, I may not get tens of thousands of views per video, but, what I get is great. The comments are usually fairly intelligent. And, I love making videos. I love doing stuff, especially on stuff like this, because this is cool to me, being able to do some tabletop stuff I've never done before. You know, so that's a cool thing coming in 2020. 2019 has still got a lot of cool stuff coming, but it's all building up to 2020, and 2021 is going to be even better than 2020. I don't intend to stop, you know, and I'm not going to just stagnate with just reviewing the typical crap. You know, we're bringing in new stuff like that. We're going to bring back some outdoor adventures. Just haven't had the time, you know. One outdoor adventure I do want to do, it's kind of macabre, I know, but we're going to go there because it's in Texas. It's the killing fields of Galveston. Evidently, they found a bunch of bodies in this field, and I'm going to want to go look at it. You know, it sounds kind of neat to go see, if a bit messed up, but whatever. We're gonna go take a look at that. Another outdoor adventure I want to go do is I want to go take a look at the Alessa. It's a sailing ship in Galveston. I did take a trip down there, but I didn't record it. What's kind of funny though is I thought I had recorded, so I was like going through all my hard drive, like, where the hell is this thing? I took out like 2 different externals, so usually I record this stuff. Didn't. What's kind of funny though is that trip I took to the Alessa, there was actually a ship with a NASA capsule on it, a fucking space capsule, and I didn't record it. Whatever. It was really cool when I saw it. So yeah. Let's see what else we got. So there's so much more stuff coming though. Like 2020, we're gonna actually start some like gaming challenges and some shooting challenges. We're gonna be doing stuff like that. I basically came up with this thing called the Super Mario 2 Taco Challenge that I'm gonna do in 2020. It's basically where I'm gonna be playing Super Mario, the original NES version. I might even hook up the original NES to do this because I do have an HDMI upscaler. Basically, it's you've got to get through level 5, get through to level 5, and defeat Bowser, right? And if you lose all your lives, you have to eat 2 of those nasty-ass Jack-in-the-Box tacos. Little things like that, you know, like some of the shooting challenges where you've got to hit with a certain level of accuracy, and if you don't, you got to, like, review a bad thing. You know, I almost kind of want to lose some of those challenges just so I can review the bad thing. Because I do want to eventually review Twilight 1. I don't really want to watch the rest of them. But it's like, you kind of get the bio fascination, like, how bad is Twilight 1? Is it really that bad? Or is it worse than you think? You know, I want to see how bad that is. 2020 also, we're going to look at a lot of those crappy Star Wars movies. We're going to look at Episode 7. We're going to look at Rogue One. We're going to look at Last Jedi, Solo: A Star Wars Story, and Rise of Skywalker. Recently I read that apparently Anakin's father is supposed to show up in Rise of Skywalker. Oh boy, that sounds like some fun stuff. I hope that's a lie, but you never know. So, yeah, you know, we got all kinds of cool stuff coming. Like, you guys don't even know. Y'all don't know how much cool stuff is coming. You know, 2020 is going to be great. 2019 has been great, okay, but 2020 is going to be even better. Let's see. Well, this month I also did a first shots video of the Beretta 92D. I'm going to do a second shots video in June. But I'm not going to do a review of that all the way until 2020 as well. Basically, I got to kind of backburn some of this stuff until 2020 to get some stuff done in the background first. But the gun reviews are coming back in 2020. Food reviews will also be coming back in 2020 as well. It's just I don't have the time right now, and believe me, it's going to be well worth the wait. So ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna wish you good BattleTech and good Beretta 92D, whatever makes you happy. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and if you can, please consider supporting me on Patreon so that I can continue bringing you this awesome content.